And in this video, we're going to show you just how easy it is to take your employee's time, review it, approve it, and then push it so you can create those paychecks and pay them direct deposit within minutes. Hey, thanks for checking today's video out. Hi, my name is Matthew Fulton, and as a cloud-based accountant, I help businesses improve their efficiency and profitability through personalized training, app integrations, and customized workflows. During today's video, we're just going to very quickly go through the process inside of QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Online Payroll to basically review the time entries your employees have done, approve them, pull it into payroll, and then process it and pay everybody by direct deposit. Should be a very quick and easy video. So why don't we jump in? So what we're looking at the moment is the time tab right inside of QuickBooks Online. Again, previously what you'd have to do with the classic view is you'd actually exit out of this program to go to QuickBooks Time, or what was once known as T-Sheets, to be able to approve your time, and then you have to sync and pull everything in. Now everything is actually all built inside this single platform, so you never have to leave. So from the time tab, you're going to notice a couple different columns at the top here, of course. Your time entries is going to take you over to a place where you can see all the different time activities for all your different employees. And you have a couple different options of how you can view it. Day, week, month, year, pay period. I traditionally go by pay period. And of course, since we're looking to approve it for a pay cycle, I'm going to go back to the pay period or pay cycle we're looking at. Once here, you'll be able to see all the time activities of those employees to kind of review before you approve it. Now the gear icon on the side here is going to give you different options of what columns you want to show or not, so you can shrink it down or streamline it to be exactly what you need to see. I specifically have customer turned off at the moment because we don't need it for this video, but you can do customer, billable, class, department, and you have the ability at the bottom here to also do the wrap text, so it's not taking up your entire screen. Once you reviewed this, there's two different ways that you can really go through the approved time process. One, of course, is right here just by clicking on Approve Time. Now, once you do this, the first thing you want to check is the time period itself, as you can see at the top here. You'll notice this switched back down to just a basic week. So I want to go back to a pay period and make sure I'm selecting the right one so we get all of the hours to be populated inside of here. Otherwise, you'd be approving just a portion of it and wouldn't be able to get it all complete. On the screen, you'll also notice, of course, the breakout, regular, overtime, unpaid, all the additional details that you might need. And then it also shows you the status here, of course. Since we haven't approved these, it still says need review. Now, you can approve these one at a time just by clicking each one of these individually, or you could, of course, click all of them and then do approve. Additionally, if you see somebody where you need to add time on for some reason, you could click the add time at the bottom. You'll then have to go through, select the appropriate employee's name, and then be able to just go through to add that specific time. Again, you have different columns. You can shrink this down as whatever's going to be best for you. But we're going to go through. We're just going to select all of these because I know they're correct and go approve. It's then going to ask us, hey, we're going to lock this time down so nobody else can go back in and actually try to make any changes to their time. Hit approve and lock the time. Once this is done, this is going to be able to take this information and set it up to where we're able to use this to actually just process our payroll and populate the totals into the proper fields for us. So now that it's done, we can now see that it's approved on the side here, and we'll just go ahead and click done. Now we can go over to our payroll tab and basically click on run payroll here, or under the employees, you can click run payroll there as well. Now, the other way we could have done the same thing is we could have actually gone straight into run payroll and then gone through this approved time process here as well. Just depends on which way you prefer. Once you have this set up, verify again your pay period's correct, double check your pay date, and now you're going to see a list of all the employees and the breakout of their hours. When you're seeing these clocks, that means the time has been pulled in automatically, so it's not manually set up inside there. You also, of course, here have the ability to customize the tables. So if you had old pay types that you don't really need to see, you can hide those if you wish to. You can also add memos to each one of the different checks if you wanted to. And then under each one of these, you can choose whether you want it to be a direct deposit or a paper check. So if you need to, you could also hit edit paycheck to edit the specific details there. From that point, you could go in, save for later, Or in this scenario, we're going to go ahead and click on Preview Payroll. Now, in this example, you're going to notice we got an error message at the top because we had two people that were not actually on payroll this cycle, and we didn't uncheck them. So you need to uncheck it before you can go through and do the Preview Payroll, of course. Once on the Preview Payroll page, you're going to be able to take a look and see what the total cost of payroll is for the company. Now, what that means, that is the gross wages for everybody as well as the employer taxes. It's going to remind you what account has been mapped inside the payroll settings. And again, you can look at our bigger video where we cover all this stuff, but where it's been mapped there, as well as the chart of accounts, which everything is going to be populating from in QuickBooks Online itself. If you ever have a challenge where these are mapping to two different places, I'll put a link below to a video to show you how to fix that, of course. So from here, you would traditionally be able to go review through all the payroll details. And from here, you can either save for later to come back, you can preview payroll details to see the individual breakout per check, or in our scenario, we're going to actually just go ahead and go and submit the payroll itself. With that, we now have our 6 direct deposits are all scheduled up, our employees are ready to go. And one thing to keep in mind is when they've been set up with the workforce application, which I strongly recommend for everybody, once you process payroll like this, they'll be notified right away saying, hey, payroll's been processed. You can expect your check on such and such a date. So that's really nice that we're doing this a little bit early this week, so they already know for the rest of the week as they're going to work, the paycheck is already on the way. Now, the next couple steps, these are things that I strongly recommend. It's always important to have your backup records for everything. So you've got 2 things you can basically do here. You can print your pay stubs, and when you do this, it'll pull them up as a PDF. And since they're direct deposit, of course, it's just a piece of paper. It's not going to have any bank information onto it, but it's going to be something that if you really want to, you could fold it up and hand it to them, or just keep a copy of it for your records. Now, the other thing, though, is you download your payroll reports. I strongly recommend coming in, taking a quick moment, and just every pay cycle, quickly download all of these. When you do it this way, you can get multiple reports in one packet in one download, and it saves a lot of time. Of course, inside of QuickBooks Online, you can always go back and run individual payroll reports, but this becomes really handy in case you ever have to go through an audit for your workers' comp, any nature where you might need those details, of course. So I'll come in here real quick, and I'm going to go close. And then the last step we're going to have here, of course, is we set up to pay the employees and schedule that out. The last step you've got to do is you're going to have to still pay your payroll taxes. Now, this may be a little different depending on the level of service of QuickBooks Online Payroll that you're using. On the Elite version, they'll set up and basically automatically pay all your taxes for you. But some people like to actually set it up to where maybe you want to wait to that last day to make those payroll tax payments, because maybe it's a situation you need to get the funds in the door before you actually send the check out. So we'd click here and say go to Payroll Tax Center. And at this point, it's going to give us a listing of all of the different taxes that are due, as well as the due date. So in this scenario, it's accruing all the payroll taxes for like the 941, and it would be due by 10/4, and tells us when we have to make the payment by. If we're making payments electronically through QuickBooks Online, as long as we pay it before this end date, so as it's saying here, the 10/3 by 2 p.m., it will not be considered late. And at the Elite level, if there's ever a challenge, you can show them that everything was done correctly, and they have a special error protection where they'll cover expenses. You'll have to talk to Intuit about that part. However, if you do pay this late and you miss that cutoff, you can still make the payment electronically, but there may be late fees that come in at a later point in time. So to pay it, you basically just come through, click on the Pay button, and then you're going to get to choose when you want to do it, right away, or no, I'm going to wait just a little bit of time. I'm going to say no, I'm going to wait at this moment. So I hope this real quick video showing you how to very easily go into QuickBooks Online, access the QuickBooks time, be able to approve your employees' time, take it, pull it into QuickBooks Online Payroll without ever leaving a platform, and it's going to suck the time entries right in, making it easy for you to quickly pay your employees, especially with direct deposit. They get notified, they come to work happy, you're happy because you've handled it super fast, and now you can go back to focusing on more important parts of your business.